Rob Tebbutt here for Boxing News, and I am delighted to be joined by the one and only Mr. Josh Warrington today. He's made it all the way down from sunny Leeds to ID Studios. Josh, always a pleasure. Thanks for popping down. How are you?
Yeah, thanks for having me. Physically, I'm good. Mentally, yeah, I've been better. Obviously, it's been an interesting week since Saturday night, and just really trying to come to terms with it. Really, you're playing different scenarios over my head, but you know, we move on. We keep going, carry on.
Now, I hope you don't mind me saying it, because I mean I am a state and everyone can see it. But you look tired, Josh. You look tired to me. Would that be a fair comment?
Yeah, no, that would be a very fair comment. I had learned that last night, but I've had a few sleepless nights this week. Like I say, throughout the day, I'm good. But just like anybody, when they've got a lot on the plate, a lot on the mind, it seems to come out of the woodwork on the night time when you're just alone with yourself and your thoughts. And I've tried to eradicate it, many times, but it's quite difficult. So it's like I've just got to go through with it. But that just means that you just don't go to sleep. And I haven't been getting much sleep this week, to be honest with you. And that's just because of my mind in overdrive.
That's something that I'm sure you won't mind me saying. We exchanged a couple of messages the day after the fight, and you said, this hurts more than the Mauricio Lara fight. Yes. This hurts more than the fights that you've lost in the past. Why is that? Why does it feel worse this time?
I think just because how much we was in control of the fight, and it just comes down to that round 7. Everything comes down to that round 7. Well in control of the fight, everything's going my way. Probably, if anything, easier than I thought it was going to be. Not really taking too many clean shots. I didn't really have a mark on my face. I felt like I was hurting Leigh, getting to him. My thinking was, he's not going to take too many more rounds of what I'm landing. And then that round 7 just changes everything, and I think that's what's been going over and over in my head. The punch that lands where Michael stops and takes the point off, and then obviously from then onwards it's a downward spiral. I'm a little bit more reckless. I'm a bit less calculated, and obviously that's what leads me to be so reckless in the last 10 seconds. Kudos to Leigh. Times a perfect shot. I think that's one of his better attributes, his timing. Lands a shot, it startles me. Catches me over 4 or 5 clean overs, including one as I'm going down. And then that's obviously, we know what happens after that. The fight's waved off. Feel like it's a bit of injustice, because I feel like I should have been given the chance to carry on, and that's what's hurt me the most, especially when you see like the judges' scorecards after and stuff like that. I feel like I was in control of the fight, but so did the judges. So I think that's why it bothers me even more.
And before we talk too much about the end of the fight, let's talk about the 6.5 rounds or so that elapsed before then. And I think it's fair to say, Josh, that going into the fight, that maybe that people were expecting a different version of Josh Warrington than the one that we saw on the night. Obviously, you're very disappointed about how the fight ended, of course. But is it too soon to kind of retain a bit of pride about how you boxed up until that point? Were you happy with your performance up until that 7th round?
No, listen, I've had many messages. Many messages with how my performance was, and a couple of my pals in the change rooms after were saying, Josh, look at the feedback on social media. Everyone's talking about how much you were boxing his head off. And since the fight, little things like I had a couple of voice notes off of Carl Frampton. I hope you don't mind me saying, but him talking about how perfectly I was boxing, and he openly admitted on the voice note that it picks against me prior to the fight. But once it's in the performance, you're like, bloody hell, you're absolutely bossing it. So yeah, I obviously wasn't surprised, because I'd spoken to yourself prior to the fight. I'd done many media interviews, and it seemed that no one really taking in what I was saying. Talking about my head wasn't in the right place for the Lopez fight, and I don't know if the people want to go back and look at my body language, how I'm walking to the ring against Lopez now, but myself, even walking to the ring against Wood on the weekend was just completely different. I had a massive reign of confidence about me, and the way that the fight went, and then first opening 6 rounds was just, I wasn't surprised. If anything, I didn't think it'd be as easy. I thought I'd be having to push more, but he seemed to want to come to me and commit to me. So, bit of adapting, and there were just lots of opportunities there. And I did feel like at times I could have pushed on earlier, but it would been so easy and easy to let them punches go. I didn't need to change anything. Like I say, up until that 7th.
Now, it seemed to me like the first round I scored for you, but it was a closer round than certainly what we came afterwards. Then Leigh turned southpaw in the second round, which was the first major adjustment. And it looked from my vantage point that gave you something to figure out.
Yeah.
What was that like in the second round, and how did you adapt and adjust to Leigh going southpaw?
So I was annoyed with myself as well after the first round because I felt I was a bit reckless. I felt like I was a bit giddy. I got kind of caught up in the buzz and the excitement and the noise, and obviously there were a few opportunities to hit him, so I went a bit too crazy. And I could hear Ben Davidson and the Wood team, screaming over, "Go southpaw! I don't like it. Go southpaw!" But it didn't bother me whatsoever. I just needed to adjust my feet and adjust the way that I approached my attacks. And my old fella just gave me a little reminder of something to look out for and something to do as I was going in. So yeah, just a bit of a reminder after that second round, and I felt, listen, it doesn't matter if he goes southpaw. If anything, he's better because I don't think he's a great southpaw when he does it. When sometimes when you're fighting a southpaw fighter, you've got to be wary of that big back left hand. But yeah, he's a strong fighter, but I don't think he throws that left hand as well and as strong in that southpaw position. So I feel like as soon as I go southpaw, I can expose him even more with a few other shots, what I can do and movements I can do. So I didn't mind that. It just meant that I have to got to be cautious of how I approach it.
You mentioned there about kind of the first round getting a bit giddy and a bit excitable, which is understandable under the circumstances, even for somebody as experienced as yourself. Yeah. After that second round, it was almost like, seems like you get painted as this picture. We're going to talk about kind of being a dirty fighter in this interview, but seems like there's kind of this notion that Josh Warrington comes forward, he lets his shots go, and then he's just a kind of an attritional guy, which obviously you can do and you've shown in your career. But from the third onwards, you were stepping off, you were catching, you were firing back. Was that part of the game plan beforehand to kind of make Leigh come to you, or was that something that you had to adjust on the fly?
I think just adjusting. Like I say, opportunity arose, opportunity presented itself, so we took the opportunity. I say people will say that I'm just a one-trick pony and I can only box a certain way, but I think once again, maybe because of how dominant I was with that, they may say, actually I can box a bit and it's adjustable. Like I said, we had plans to go forward, we had plans to sit on his chest, we had plans to throw a lot of punches as we always do, but when there's opportunities there to make it easy for yourself and catch and counter and it not be it, then you're going to take them opportunities. And obviously my dad goes off what he's seeing as well and maybe tell me to adjust certain things, but everything going up to pressing, I didn't really need to do anything different. Maybe they'll be a little bit tighter with shots, maybe a little bit tighter as I was pulling away after attacks, but up until the 7th feet where it was all more or less punch perfect.
That 7th round that we've just discussed and the point coming off for the shot to the back of the head, as it was kind of adjudged at the time. Do you think that your reputation as a dirty fighter precedes yourself in scenarios like that? Do you think it almost kind of, if that wasn't Josh Warrington, maybe a point doesn't go?
Yeah, I maybe think so. And I mean, the referees come into the change rooms prior to the fight, give you your final instruction, and we made a point, of saying that I've got this reputation of being a dirty fighter with the head. I want to be given a fair chance. I've never been deducted a point from use of the head. So, be fair as possible. And Michael reassured me. He reassured me that it's him who's the referee, not no one else, and he'll be watching it and give it as fair as possible. Which gives me some kind of reassurance. And we also did say we hope that he's not influenced by, the opposing team. And one thing that a lot of people don't realise is the referees constantly talk to you in the ring. Obviously, you wouldn't have heard Michael on Saturday night because the atmosphere is so loud. But whilst we're inside, he's more or less having a conversation with us. Leigh, let go of his arm, Leigh. Hey, break, boys, break. Josh, just work. You can work it out, Josh. I can see you've got an arm free. I see you've got an arm free. Work it out. That's it, boys. Work away. That's good boxing. And he's constantly assessing what's going on. He's constantly assessing both our behaviours. Watch them heads, boys. Whoa. Watch them. Watch where they're going. Them shots. There's moments where in that fight in early stages where Leigh's got hold of my left arm. He's got it wrapped round. I'm in close. He knows I can work well in there. Michael's to my right hand side, and he says, "Josh, you've got an arm free." Probably not realising that my left arm's tied. So he says, "Work it out." Leigh's right in front of me. I work it out. The only thing I can do is throw an uppercut. I can't really throw straight right there because he's there in front of me. So I throw these tight hooks, and he's telling me, "Whoa, Josh, no naughties round back head." I mean, well, I don't know about you, Rob, but to me, the side of the head is there, and the back of the head is there. Now, people may say, "Well, that's dirty," but it's inside fighting. If he's allowing me to throw the punches, what more do you want me to really do when we're that close at angle? Punches there, allowed to be thrown, and if they land there, again, that's the side there, that's the target area. And I feel that the Wood camp had an influence on, because after the round, Ben were getting in, he was making a big song and dance about punches to the back of the head and shot going over to Michael, and at the point of the point being taken off, the point being deducted, he had told me, "Josh, first warning, right, fair enough, Michael." But that punch in the 7th round, and I broke this down over there on my social media. I've set the punch gone, and as that punch is travelling, Leigh turns, and it's towards back end of his side of his head, but not directly on the back of his head, and it's certainly not intentional. He stops me, pushes me back to the neutral corner. He sends Leigh to the other neutral corner. He says, "Josh, last time." I said, "Michael, it wasn't intentional." And then he, from there, proceeds to grab hold of my arm and take me to the centre of the ring and take a point off. And I know it's something else that's gone through my mind. Me protesting, did that work against me? If I'd have just shut up and took it and got the final warning, would he have not taken a point off? I don't know. But it quickly went from maybe my final warning to a point being taken off. So then my thinking is, if he's going to take a point off as quickly as that, what's going to stop him from disqualifying me? What's going to stop him from taking another point off if it happens again? Like I say, Leigh turns that split second. If he doesn't turn, the punch lands in front of his face. Because he turns, it lands on what he deems as the back of his head. So I feel really done by with that, and I feel that changes my game plan for the rest of the round, which makes me a little bit more reckless, even in that 10 seconds where I hear the bang on the side of the ring. I need to win this last 10 seconds because my thinking is, I can't win the round, but I can at least draw the round 9-9. The point with the point being taken off, I can at least draw the round, and Leigh's not going to get no momentum. He's not going to get geared up in the middle of the corner because I've still dominated the round. But it makes me a bit more silly as well, and gives the opportunity for Leigh to catch me that perfectly timed shot, and the rest is history.
The rest is history, but we're going to go over it, particularly the end of the 7th round. What's your recollection of the end of the 7th round, right the way through to the fight being waved off?
So obviously that happens with a point, so it leads me into frustration. Like I say, all these different thoughts going in my head. Just win the round, pick up the pace. Now, my dad had told me to be careful and cautious and don't get too reckless because I was getting a bit carried away with myself. But as soon as that happens, I think, right, I need to take it to him a bit. I need to win. I need to draw this round at least. I don't want to, like I say, let him get no momentum. So I start picking up a bit more. Then, weirdly enough, I'm right near my corner when that klaxon sounds, that last 10 seconds. And we had a little bit of a spell we come together. Michael breaks again. I hear that go, and I dive straight back in. But as I dive in, Leigh sees an opening, throws out a shot, right hand, catches me, startles me. Instead of tucking up, I kind of jolt. And as I jolt, he hits me with 4 to 5 clean blows. I go down. Didn't really feel that too heavy, but they were cleaning on the chin. I go down. Bastard. Fucking, as I go down, I hear bell go. And I want to ding it with a full on fucking, there's a fire in building. The bell's going. So I hear that. I get myself up at 4 and 5, maybe a little bit too quick. But I head instinctively straight to my corner. You know, the bell's gone, it's ended round. I hear 5, 6, 7, I hear 8, and on 8, I turn round because, you know, at 8, they want to see you, they want you to wipe your gloves, they want to see you walk, they want to show that you continue. But in that 5, 6, 7, as I walk to the corner, I am on unsteady legs. I'll openly admit that I'm on unsteady legs. With that first 1-2 step I do to the corner, it's like you've been sat down and you've got pins and needles and you initially stand up and you go a bit jellified. That's what I felt like. But then instantly to get me feeling back, I'm looking at my dad and I said, for fuck's sake, annoyed that I've just been so reckless. And I know that a massive Scarborough warning's coming over because he's been telling me all through camp, don't go fucking diving in with that stupid hook and leaving your chin open and get caught with a reckless punch. And I've just done exactly that, so I'm annoyed with that. I'm expecting to turn round. Michael is look at my eyes. You're alright, sit me down, and that's it. Give me a minute to recover. I'm expecting Leigh to come out the next fucking round and try blast me out of there. And I'm expecting my dad to say, right, he's gonna come out like a shit off a stick. You're gonna have to ride this. Make sure you don't get caught with no off and daft, and everything you throw, it's gotta be tight. But I turned round, and as I'm turning round on that 8, I turn round, and he's already waving his arms. And as much as I protest, he's not having it. He's committed to that decision. His arms have gone. He ain't gonna stop that, you know. So, and I had a little brief chat with him after, and he said, "Josh, you didn't show me you were all right." I said, "Michael, I turned at 8." He went, "Josh, you didn't." I said, "Michael, it's my word against yours, but I did. I was all right. I was perfectly fine." And he just looked at me like, and he went, "Josh," and he said nothing else then. So, you know, I feel hard done by, especially when you look at likes of himself, Leigh, when he got put down against Colin, he was out for 3 rounds after that. You know, he was on very, very unsteady legs, touching down on all sorts, and still allowed to continue. Kid Galahad against Kiko Martinez. You know, when Kid stood up, he would face him wrong way and all sorts, and we still allowed that minute so it ended round to continue. You got to take factors into consideration. Number 1, I'm up on scorecards. Michael's a judge as well as a referee. He will have seen that, and he's taken the scorecards after each round. Number 2, I haven't been taking any punishment compared to what Leigh's been taking throughout the fight. So Michael is closer than anyone. He can see that. Number 3, it's the end of the round. I've got a minute to recover. You know, he's refereed me before. He knows like that I'm a fit fighter. I'd one bad blemish on my record, and that's obviously against Lara, which I took a lot of every punishment. I carried on going to the 9th. So all these factors I feel should have been taken into consideration. I know the argument is the referee's there to save you for another day. I know that, but this is World Championship boxing, Rob. It's World Championship boxing, and like I said, there's fighters who've been put down on the backside and got off the canvas and had amazing comebacks, and this is what makes these rocky moments and these unbelievable stories. And I just don't feel like I'd been given that opportunity to have that moment.
Where next? I mean, everyone's talking about a potential rematch. Leigh's talking about the City Ground next year. I'm sure you, as would go wherever that fight would be. Is that priority number 1? Because it seems to me, and we did the show on Monday of this week, myself, Barry, and Andy. Check it out if you haven't seen it. And it seems to me, at least, that you do still have plenty of options, but the Wood rematch is number 1.
Yeah, I think so. It's funny because, you know, in my head, I'd played all kinds of different scenarios out, like even like how I was going to celebrate, the things I was going to say after in the ring, and I wouldn't say I got carried away with myself in between rounds, but I did have a little feeling of this is going exactly how I want it to go, and carry on going like this, and it's you're three-time world champion. It's all going to stone forward right in front of you. And one of them things, what I would have been saying is to Eddie Hearn, take us to America. You know, I reckon I would have had to vacate the belt anyway, because there's mandatories on it.
Yeah.
So I would have been looking to go to America. I'd have been saying, get us a fight with Ray Vargas. He's the WBC number 1. I've recently been ranked number 1. Take us over there, man. If not, I'll go up weights. And if you can't even find me anything there, then I'll, who knows, I'll just ride off into the sunset. You know, three times world champion, going out as a champion sounds pretty reasonable. But I've enjoyed myself there on the weekend, Rob. I enjoyed every single moment of it. You know, I wish you could see inside of my head, like a walk into the ring before Lopez won compared to on Saturday night. Like, I enjoyed everything about the build up. I know I've blunt with some of the interviews I were doing in the week, but I enjoyed the weigh-in. I enjoyed the fight night. I enjoyed my hands getting wrapped. I enjoyed the change room banter and stuff. I enjoyed walking to the ring. I enjoyed the sticks that we're getting from the Forest fans as I walked in. I enjoyed the love that we're getting from my support as I walked in, and the way that the fight was going. I was enjoying every little second of it. So who knows? My hand had been raised on weekend. I'm like, yeah, fucking, I want another 5. I want another 5. But now with that bit of injustice, I feel like the first thing I want to do is put that last one to bed. And you know, Leigh, I called Leigh after the medical room, and he said he'd happily do it again. So yeah, let's run it back.
I mean, we can obviously see how disappointed you are. It's written all over your face.
Yeah.
But it seems, as you mentioned there about Leigh and seeing him in the medical room, there still seems that respect between you and him. There doesn't seem to be any animosity. It's just kind of the way the fight ended. Would that be fair? Yeah,
massively. Yeah, listen, it's not Leigh's fault. No, it's not Leigh's fault. Obviously, he's going to take that opportunity. He's going to start celebrating when... Yeah, of course he is. He's been gifted a brilliant gift from the gods, you know. Fair play to him. He threw that shot, and it was a beautiful shot, and credit to him. Listen, the man's got massive bollocks, and he's a tough bastard, because, like I said, there were times in that fight where I hit him, and obviously I'm close to him there, and I can see the frustration on his face. I can see the grimace. I could see the grimaces when I was landing certain shots, and the uncomfortableness, but he kept on coming. I could hear the winces with some of the body shots that I landing, you know, inside. But he kept on coming, and that's an art of a champion, and fair play, man. And like I say, when I come into the medical room, I was sat just about to get assessed, because obviously I've been put on my backside, and he comes in. Obviously I cut him with a punch, and you know, he's marked, and he said, one of the first things he said to me, fuck's sake, you hurt me so many times in that fight. But obviously with him, we obviously came out on top at the end, but yeah, there's no but respect there to him, and even to his team, because, you know, throughout, even when Barry came in to watch my hands get wrapped, and, you know, Ben after the post-fight, because they're not but fair. Obviously, Ben's got a job to do, hasn't he? He's just trying to look out for his man's best interest, just like my dad. He's trying to look out for my best interest, so, you know, there's no animosity there. Just and they weren't in the build-up, Rob, and that's what I kept on saying. You know, you'll watch all this bollocks going on in the weeks leading up to your Logan Pauls and your KSIs and your Tommy Furies, but is the fight going to deliver? We had no real animosity, really, apart from when I slagged him off coming in for Daddy to open workout. That's not my cup of tea. But apart from that, you know, there were no pleasantries throughout, and we delivered a fucking barnstormer of a fight, you know, and I think that's how boxing should be. But, you know, it's also drama, isn't it?
It certainly is, and it was a very dramatic fight. And just to echo what you said there, it was a fantastic fight. It was a brilliant fight. It didn't have any of the... You need a little bit of spice in the build-up, which is what we got with the Ferrari.
Towards the back end,
you got to have a little bit. We like a little bit. But no, you are two fantastic ambassadors for the sport. You've both guys who have come from you know, with respect to both yourself and Leigh, you didn't come with the Olympic shine,
setup,
and you're going
yeah.
straight into boxing on a pay-per-view undercard on your professional debut. No disrespect to anybody who has done that, but you've done things the kind of the conventional way, the difficult way. If it's not Leigh, then what? It seems like Michael Conlan is there. Conlan versus Gill is coming towards the end of the year.
Yep.
Have you given up on the American adventure? Is that something that you still kind of harbour?
No, I definitely haven't, and I believe that, especially with the performance that I've had and the feedback that I've had from, you know, a lot of people may have, if there was a little, listen, there were close people who told me that, or spoke to me after the Lopez fight and said, Josh, you don't need to prove all else now, do you? You've had a good career, and maybe questioning, because, and I can see why, because of when I started, but maybe looking that I was so desperate towards the back in the fight, it looks ragged and raw, right? But after the weekend, like, fucking hell, sorry mate, I wasn't listening to what you were saying. Like, it must have really affected you for the Lopez fight, because you were fucking red hot. You was on fire. You look like Josh of old. I've seen that so many times this week. You look like Josh of old. You look like Josh against Selby and Frampton. You just look fucking. He looks a different animal, and it's like they still believe.
Does that make it easier or more?
I
difficult?
think so, mate. Yeah, no, I don't think it. It has definitely softened the blow this week. You know, every time where, listen, if Robbie Feather was sat here and I've just been chinned for 7 rounds and then put out on my backside, then I'd be saying, you know what, fucking, hey, my health's more important. But I 4 or 5 clean shots and the fight's over. So yeah, it has made it easier, you know. But it's something that I already knew. But like I think I said this earlier this year, it's all right me saying on this microphone that it's still there, but so much shit gets talked these days that, well, fucking hell, you're saying you're alright, but you didn't look alright in last fight. And the only way you can really show it is by performances. And I think I've shown that I'm still at that level, and I'm still in my prime years, and I've still got enough to make these big nights happen.
It looks as though if a rematch is going to happen with Leigh, it would have to happen in the summer of next year, of course, if it's going to be at the City Ground. Would you want to box before then, or would you wait till then? I mean, you don't look like you had a fight on Saturday night. Still in good shape.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe take over a bit. See what opportunities present themselves. It's funny again, this boxing, isn't it? Who knows? Luis Alberto Lopez might think, you know what, fuck it, I might beat him up again. I might pick up the phone and give us an opportunity. There's a WBO champ, he might pick up the phone and think, you know what, let's have. We want some of them lead slot over here in America. Josh wants to come over here. Ray Vargas might fancy it. You know, he's been active in recent times, so you never know what might happen. I think at this where I am in my career, it's difficult to just have a tick over, because who do you really put me in with who's a bit of a tick over, but still people want to go pay the money to see. You know, they don't want you to see boxer, you know, a domestic level opponent or someone who's had 75 losses on the record, and like, we don't want to say that, Josh. You know, you just had a barnstormer of a fight that you were bossing that fight against arguably the number 1 featherweight in the world. You had a moment of lapse of concentration or whatever it is, and I've lost a fight. But we don't want to see you go beat someone up for 12 rounds or however long it lasts. You know, we're straight back in there, and I think I'll be the same as well. You know, I don't want to get false confidence, and I don't feel like I need a confidence booster. It's not like I've been absolutely banjoed and I need to get myself back up. Yeah, after seeing the response on Monday, I was fucking ready to put my running trainers back on Monday night. But it's only because my old fella came up to me and said, listen, just have a week off. Have a week off, you fucking deserve it.
What's the plan now? Holiday? Back in the gym?
I think, I've done a few days of eating shit, and I feel terrible already. So just spend time with my kids and be idiot daddy again for a few months, and keep ticking over. I do miss the gym banter when I'm not in there, and obviously there's Reese, Maxie, who's in there, and a few other prospects who are coming through as well. So just go back in the gym, keep me eye in, keep the fitness levels high, and wait for that phone call to go.
Still plenty left.
Plenty in the tank, Rob. Plenty in the tank.
Okay, well, Josh, look, once again, congratulations on a brilliant performance. Didn't go your way, but look, we could see the rematch, or we could see you in a big fight, either over here or across the pond. That'd be nice. But thank you very much for coming down today to ID Towers and speaking to us here at Boxing News. Always a pleasure to catch up with you, and I'm sure we'll speak to you very soon.
Thanks for having me. Cheers.